Alright guys, welcome back. We just got done with UFC Fight Night in London, and man, what an underwhelming card this was. We had so many fights that ended in decision, some questionable decisions as well. Had a few submission finishes, that was good at least. We had 0 KOs, and then the knockdowns that did happen were followed up with grappling instead of trying to finish the fight. Like what? And then my prediction picks were completely off, man. I did so terrible tonight. But yeah, let's just get straight into the first fight. We got Guram Kutuladzade versus Cue Fernandez. Golly, man. Fernandez dominated Guram here. Guram looked so bad. He did try 5 takedowns and he missed all of them. He got dominated in the ground in every single round. He even got knocked down in the first round too. He kind of picked it up a little bit towards the end of the third round, but like, what was the point of that? You know, he was already losing so bad. Guram had the freaking Topuria brothers as well in his corner, and I forgot who else was there as well, but I don't know. This is just a super underwhelming performance by Kutuladzade. I feel like he could have done more, and this looked really good for Cue Fernandez. He looked great, and he was a massive underdog in this fight as well. But yeah, it was a great victory for him, and I got this pick completely wrong. But yeah, this went to decision, and it was a unanimous win. Anyway, for the second fight of the night, we had bantamweight bout in Nathan Fletcher and Conan Loran. This could have gone either way, honestly. I feel like Nathan Fletcher did, or he obviously won round 2. And I feel like he did enough to win round 3 as well. He was getting the better strikes there, and he did miss 6 takedowns, but he did defend 6 from Loran as well. Other than that, it was a good fight. I got this pick wrong as well. I had Fletcher winning here by submission, I think, and I got it wrong in a terrible start to the card for my picks, going 0-2. However, this next fight I got it correct. We have Sean Brady going against Puja Tomar. This was a crazy fight. Tomar looked really good on the feet. Sean Brady was spamming that same side kick over and over again. And eventually actually kept Tomar. But in the second round, Tomar came in with a head kick out of nowhere and actually knocked down Sean Brady to the ground. And while she was trying to get the finish, Bannon was still kind of defending herself. The ref could have definitely stopped the fight, but he didn't, and because of that led to Tomar giving Bannon an opportunity to get submission on her. She locked in the armbar. Tomar was kind of almost getting out of it, but then Shauna Bannon locked it in again, and that second time was the time that finished it, and she was able to get the submission via armbar. It was a great comeback, and yeah, this was a pretty fun fight to watch. This was one of the cards that I thought was going to be a little underwhelming, and definitely was not. However, the next fight was very underwhelming. Christian Leroy Duncan versus Andre Pulayev. I got this pick correct, and this put me at 2 for 2 for my picks for the night. However, I thought Duncan was going to do more here. I thought he was going to be able to get a KO win over Pulayev. This was definitely a super hard fight for Pulayev to debut in the UFC. But Leroy Duncan dominated here, I guess. But the way that he did was kind of boring. He was just kind of clinching Pulayev a lot, holding him up. He did get some pretty good strikes in. And especially towards the end of the third round, things were kind of like spicing up a little bit. And they were both landing like better shots. But the total strikes was like completely lopsided to Duncan. He had 116, and Andre Pulayev had 36, which was crazy. With Duncan landing 73 significant strikes and Pulayev landing only 18. But yeah, this was another pick that I got correct. Just like the next fight in Marcin Tybura against Mick Parkin. This was another fight that was a very close fight. It was a Chubb versus Chubb fight. I thought it could have gone either way again in the decisions. This is the second fight that was that had questionable decision by the judges. Just to think that Parkin was gassed by the third round already. He had nothing in the gas tank. He was, I don't even know what he was doing, to be honest. But yeah, Tibura with the good win here over Parkin. He lost his undefeated record. But yeah, I got this pick correct as well. I thought there was going to be a KO/TKO victory for Tibura, but it ended up going the 3 rounds. And I don't know, man. Parkin doesn't really have any good like characteristics for the heavyweight. He's not a heavy striker. His wrestling didn't look too good. He couldn't get a win over Marcin Tybura, but it is what it is. Anyway, moving on to our next fight of the card. We had a flyweight bout between Kavanaugh and Dos Santos. Oh, this was such a fun fight to watch. Other than the few fouls that Dos Santos had, I can't believe he didn't get any points deducted. He was going to lose anyway. Kavanaugh did pretty good. He had a great performance. His grappling looked great. He had 4 of his 6 takedowns go his way. He didn't really do much with him, but he was getting some huge strikes, some huge ground and pound strikes on Dos Santos. Dos Santos cut up Kavanaugh pretty bad in the first round, but that didn't affect him at all. The only thing that happened from that was that Kavanaugh got some sick pictures. But yeah, I got this pick correct as well, and this put me at 4 for 2 for the prediction picks on the night. This was a pretty easy fight to judge, and Kavanaugh definitely won here. Unlike our lightweight bout of the night in Jai Herbert versus Chris Padilla. Oh my goodness. This was another close decision fight. It was very underwhelming. Their performances were underwhelming as well. Jai Herbert didn't really do much. Chris Padilla threw more strikes. They both landed the same amount of significant strikes. The only one that tried to take things to the ground was Chris Padilla with 6 takedown attempts, and he failed all of them. Jai Herbert had some great takedown defense in this fight, and that was the only thing that really looked kind of good for Jai Herbert here. Again, this fight could have gone either way, but I guess Padilla did enough to win here. But yeah, this was another pick that I got correct. Barely got this pick correct. And this put me at 5 for 2 for the night. And then the next fight, we got Nathaniel Wood versus Morgan Charrier. Oh, this was a good technical fight. Wood looked great. He knocked down Charrier at the beginning of the fight, and he couldn't finish him though. Charrier did really good to stay in this fight. Like I said, it was a good technical fight. But yeah, it was a fun fight to watch as well. However, I got this pick wrong. This put me at 5 for 3. I thought Morgan Charrier was going to be able to get the better strikes and clip Wood to get a KO win, but it went to decision, and they gave it to Christian Wood, rightfully so. This was one of the decisions of the night that made a lot of sense. And then the next fight, Jordan Vucenic versus Chris Duncan. Chris Duncan looked amazing. He did everything good in this fight. He dominated Vucenic. It was a good and entertaining fight. I can't believe Vucenic didn't do more. He lost to Garam, and that loss is looking even worse now because of how Garam lost to Fernandez earlier in this card. Duncan was able to pull a submission win via guillotine choke. But yeah, overall, Duncan looked super good. I hope Vucenic gets another chance. I know he already lost 2 fights in a row in the UFC, but hopefully he gets one more. Merab lost his first 2 fights of the UFC, and look where he's at now. I'm not saying Vucenic is Merab level, but you never know. One more chance for Vucenic, and that's it. I bought into the hype, and I picked him to win this fight, and that put me at my picks to be 5 and 4, which is terrible. Terrible. 2 losses in a row. But yeah. And then our next fight was a strawweight bout between McCann and Thainara. Thainara came into this fight short notice. She was fun to watch fight, but oh my days, please don't ever do that entrance ever again. That was so, I don't even know. I don't know. Watching that was so like, I don't even know how to describe it. See, I'm going. My brand is rotting. But anyway, Thainara pulled a great submission win here. She was dominating McCann anyway. She got the rear naked choke on her first takedown, and Molly McCann decided to retire. I don't really know much about her, but I have heard a lot of slander on her, so it is what it is. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on these two ladies here. And moving on to the next fight, we got Gunnar Nelson versus Kevin Holland. I picked Kevin Holland to win here, and it was a little risky of how inconsistent Kevin Holland is. But man, he looked great. This was a super fun fight. His takedown defense was super good in this fight. Gunnar Nelson had 10 takedown attempts, and he failed 7 of them. On the feet, Kevin Holland was dominating Nelson as well, with 138 total strikes over 30 strikes from Gunnar Nelson. This was another decision win that was rightfully won by Kevin Holland. He dominated everywhere on the ground, on the feet, and he looks good in this weight class. He should definitely stay here, and yeah, that's all I got to say for these two guys. For the co-main event of the night, we got Jan Blachowicz versus Carlos Ulberg. Man, this was an underwhelming and boring fight. It was a controversial decision. Neither fighters were taking risks. They were just kind of like sparring. I don't even know how to explain it. It was a super hard fight to judge as well. The only thing that they were throwing were leg kicks, and they were just spamming each other with leg kicks over and over and over again. They both tried a takedown. They both failed. They were both throwing like fake takedowns to try to get closer and hit each other, but that was about it. I don't really know what else to say. I got this pick correct. It put me at 8 for 4. Like I said, I did so bad tonight with the picks. And the next fight, I got it wrong as well. I had picked Leon Edwards to win here. But Sean Brady dominated Edwards in all the categories. The second round, I think. Yeah, the second round, Leon Edwards had 0 total strikes, and Sean Brady had 76. 19 of those being significant strikes, while, like I said, Leon Edwards had 0. And he did it in a fashion that was more dominant than Bilal. Leon Edwards looked like he didn't want to be out there. It was kind of sad to watch. But maybe this is Leon Edwards' downfall. I don't think he's ever going to get another title shot again, unless he somehow strings a couple fight wins in a row and he beats another big name, but I doubt it. But Sean Brady looked amazing. It was a fun wrestling fight to watch. The grappling was super fun. Since I'm more of a newer MMA fan, I like seeing more striking. I like seeing more action like that. And when it goes to the ground, I still don't understand like all the guards and how to pass this, how to pass that, how to defend this, how to defend that. So it's still kind of a little boring to me, but that's just because I don't know. And watching Brady fight last night, even though I don't know much of grappling, he made it look super fun. And it was interesting to see how someone can get dominated so lopsidedly, you know? I don't know if that makes sense, but Brady had a great performance here. I did get this pick wrong, however, but it is what it is. I did a terrible job at 8 for 5. We'll be back next week, though, definitely. But overall, this card was definitely underwhelming. I give it around the 6.5 out of 10. There was some good moments. It was fun to watch at times, but definitely could have been better. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a prediction video on the Mexico card next weekend. So stay tuned in for that. And sweet, we'll see you guys later.